You are listening to the Gallery Conversation with Lee. This is episode 1. Thanks for listening today. You are listening to the Gallery Conversation, and I am Lee. Today's conversation is about colorism, more specifically, about how colorism has impacted my life. So, colorism is defined as discrimination based on skin color, but this definition without context can be assigned to racism as well. So, while colorism is a result of white supremacist ideals that include racism, it can be more clearly defined as discrimination within races that have a range of skin tones and complexions. So, in African American and Black American communities, this has been an age old hurdle due to the severe and unfair conditions of slavery. So, without going into a history lesson about the woes of slavery, slaves were often separated according to skin tone. The lighter you were, the closer you were to the master. That was in appearance and also in proximity. So, this is where we get the expression house Negro and field Negroes. Okay. So, my story begins when I was a young girl. So I never really had any self confidence issues. I was a pretty confident kid. I was told pretty regularly, "You're a beautiful child. You have beautiful parents. You look just like your dad. Your dad couldn't deny you if he wanted to." That type of thing. So I had pretty positive affirmations growing up. I can say that I was blessed to be raised in a household that had it was just a very healthy household, and not everybody has that. So I never take that for granted, and I'm very thankful for having that upbringing. I grew up in Manchester, Connecticut, but before I made my way there, I lived in Elizabeth City, North Carolina. The town in North Carolina where I lived was pretty diverse, pretty integrated, and at the time, I never really gave any real thought to discrimination or racism. I mean, I was a child. I was around 7 or 8 years old at the time. And everybody just lived, as far as I knew, in peace and harmony. I had friends of all races, and it seems to be kind of a cliche when you say you have friends of every kind. But I can very distinctively remember that there were both black and brown, and even there was a Middle Eastern family. And I remember her specifically because she had this beautiful accent, and I always wondered, why does she speak differently than I and the rest of my friends? And very beautiful family. We all lived together. When I say together, I mean, in the same neighborhood. And everybody seemed to get along. There was like a neighborhood park that everyone went to. And white, black, Latina, Asian, everybody was just happy together. And my school life was very much the same.